whatever you want to call, anybody who's in leadership to whatever church that you go to, please tell them to make it make sense of since the beginning, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, Joshua, you name them, King Solomon. When you go through any of these people, King David, they're tied to the children of Israel every single time. You will never see somebody in the scripture that was in leadership that was called, that was a part of the bloodline, that was a part of the bloodline of Israel. You'll never see it. Go in and show me in history where Shemite, Cuttite, Canaanite, whatever you want to call them, go through it and show me where a tribe or a nation outside of the children of Israel was the one who the Most High was leading and guiding and connected to. You won't find it. And this is why it don't make sense. Because you see it all through the Old Testament. And we know for a fact that there are 12 tribes of Israel. We know this. Listen, we know it was 12 tribes. Matter of fact, you go through, I think it's in Joshua, when they jumped over the water, the lake, whatever it was, and they told them to grab them stones, put 12 stones in there. One was a representation for every one of the tribes, right? The only thing you got to do is go back and read it. It's just simple and plain text. It's in black and white. So when you go and look at that, and then you go read Deuteronomy, the curses and blessings. When you get to reading Deuteronomy, go listen to me. Then you could go and read when they say, when my people seek my face and turn from their wicked way, then I'd heal the land. You got to pay attention to when he say my people. Now, this is where they get the scripture misconstrued, and then they want to argue because they really don't want to rap about what what really define his people. They don't want to discuss that because he was leading a certain group of people all that time you read all of this Old Testament. He was leading who? Who was his people? Who did he deliver out of Egypt? Israel. Who did he deliver? Who did he deliver when he spoke to Gideon out of the? I forgot who they was in captivity. Who did he deliver out of them people's hand? Go through and look at what nation of people he was delivering, and it'll tell you who his people are. It was Israel every single time. And if you go back and you really want to do your research, only thing you got to do is ask Google what nation. I don't know if I'm just giving you, maybe it'll work. Ask Google who was the Moabites in biblical times and see what nation or race of people did it give you. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Go ask Google what race or nation of people was the Hittites in the scripture. And then go and ask Google who were the 12 tribes of Israel. I'm just giving a reference. I'm just giving a reference, and you can find it however way you want to find it. Go look and see who it tell you who it is. Then you can follow up your own research however you want to find it. Go just start somewhere. But when you do that, it's gonna tell you. And tell me where in the scripture where you see that the Moabites was the people that the Most High was delivering out of captivity. You won't find it. Go show me where he was delivering the Cushites out of captivity. You won't find it. Go look for it. And this is where it get crazy. I think it's a 400-year period between the Old Testament and the New. 300 or 400, right? We watch the scripture do what he said he was going to do. We watch it. We watch it do what he said he's going to do. We watch the king strip himself, come down. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning was the word was, you know what I'm talking about. We watched the king come down here. And soon as he started his ministry, listen to what I'm going to tell you though. It's simple stuff. We watched the king come down here and start his ministry. And the first thing he went and done was go and get one from every tribe of Israel. Listen. The first thing he went and done was go get one from every tribe of Israel. Who else he went and got? Who else he went and got? And make it make sense. Make that make sense. He went and got the 12. Listen to me. Michael Todd, T.D. Jakes, and I love T.D. Jakes to death. He was the one that brought me to the scripture, man. He was the one that brought me to the scripture, and his word brought me to my knees, and I caught the spirit. They'll never tell you. They'll never teach that. Paula White, what's her name? Joyce Myers, any of them, you'll never see it. They'll never speak on that. They'll never speak on that. You know why? Because then it's going to cause a separation. It'll cause a separation amongst people, because then you will no longer be able to sit in your congregation and say, when my people seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, then I'll heal the land, because that scripture does not apply to everybody. And if you want to argue that, the only thing you got to do is go look at the scripture. Because if we'll say that he is the same as he was yesterday, today, and forever, you're telling me that the Most High changed who his people is. Make it make sense. You're telling me the Most High changed his mind about who he called his people. You said he was the same today, yesterday, and forever. He didn't change his mind. He didn't change his, if he changed it, who is his people? The same ones, Yeshua, who we know as Jesus the Christ, came and got the 12. Now, let me go further. Now, you didn't hear me not say one time that you can't come to the knowledge and the understanding of who he is, who his people is, and you can't be engrafted. Let me use that word. You can't, I didn't never say you couldn't be engrafted. Now, when you look at something that's being engrafted, it's something that wasn't a part. You ain't got to know, I'm gonna look at it. Something that's got to be engrafted was something that was not a part. It's like you being adopted into a family that you didn't rightfully belong to. So when you look at that, there were people who got healing, there were people who got delivered, you know what I'm saying, on the strength of, even though they wasn't in the blood, they wasn't in the vein. They wasn't in the vein. They didn't belong to that. They didn't belong, right? That's why when he said, I didn't come to feed, when he called the woman, when people say he called the woman a dog, he said, but I only came for the house of who? Watch how plain the scripture is. He said, I only came. He said he came for the house of who? I need somebody to answer that because I ain't even going to say it. What name did he say? He said, I came for the house of who? Israel. He said he came to restore Israel. Now listen what I'm going to tell you. Go, I think who he was talking to the Samaritan woman. Go and research however you choose. You can start with Google if you take my recommendation. Go look up what race or nation of people the Samaritan people were. Go look it up. Just start somewhere. Listen to me, it's a separation of people. He was saying, I really shouldn't even do this for you because it don't belong to you. It belongs to them. It don't belong to you. It belongs to them. That's who I came to give it to. Now, on the strength of, listen to me, appreciate that, my guy. On the strength of the faith, the acknowledgement of who he was, he still done it. Now, when you go and you look at how many times, I can't remember how many times it was. Go look at how many times he told the disciples, ye have little faith. He told them that several times. And it's important because it was important when he said, ye have little faith. You know why? Because it belonged to you and you don't even recognize it. It's yours and you can't even embrace it. It's you rightfully have this, and it's people who believe more than you. But you know why? Because they had snatched it out. They had over time, because the children of Israel, I'm speaking to Israel, the children of Israel was so broken, so lost, so confused, no faith, no hope, no nothing. They was so broken, they couldn't even, listen to who I'm talking to. Listen, you can't even understand. It's right here. It is